Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Science and Beyond. I hope everyone's having a great evening wherever you're on the big, beautiful planet. I hate just using the evening word because I know personally, for our European audience, it's between 3 and 6 in the morning. So for everybody standing up over there listening, hurrah. For our Australian friends, I know it's in the afternoon right now, but depending on where you are, from right around lunchtime to a little bit later. So all of y'all, and it's actually Saturday over there, so we're time traveling yet again. So everybody over there, I hope y'all on that side of the world are enjoying y'all's afternoon and having a good day. For all my friends in the U.S., y'all should know your time zones. For everybody in the South who we have a large listening audience now, hey, I hope y'all are having a good time since I see you are COVID-free people. Oh, my God, the South has lost its mind. Anyway, moving on from that. It's I was just in your neck of the woods the other day. I was down in Gulf Shores, actually, in Alabama.
Me too.
And they were packed. I was like, which I don't mind. Several places I like to go down there. But anyway, we're going to do a proper induction again. But ladies and gentlemen, I had the group on from Galaxy Press tonight, Rise of the Future. You know I love John and Emily, and Dorri has just become my best friend. We're going to talk about that why in a little while. She has made my drives across the country much more pleasurable now. And which is just, I was telling John earlier, I was listening to an archive coming in this morning. Actually, I was listening to a show coming in this morning. It's such a nice thing because, with the iPad, it logs right into the Apple Play on my car, and it just plays it to the heart away. And I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to control it from the steering wheel, which is another nice feature since I like to go fast. I like to have some type of control out there. But anyway, John, Emily, Dorri, welcome to the show. So, John, Emily, I don't know who wants to go first, but y'all go first right quick. I'm going to switch these servers over, so I'll be listening to y'all. So you're live.
Good.
Now.
Well, hi, Joe. So I'll go ahead and get started. So we're very excited to be back with you again. We did a show with you on New Year's when we talked about you doing the online writing workshop, and that became a lot of fun. And one of the things that, based upon what you've done, Dr. Dorri Goldschmidt, who's in the bottom screen here, is an optometrist from Alabama, and she's been a long-term supporter of the arts, and as we're going to be talking about that too. But I was very excited when Joe, having received this iPad, which she gave him, that has all the different stories from the Golden Age, which are these great stories written by Owen Hubbard in the 30s and 40s, which Joe's going to be talking about, like he was just referring to there, that were recorded as audiobooks in the old radio theater format.
Hey, baby,
so, hello.
Hello. And everybody kind of froze for me.
Okay,
hey, no freezing allowed here. There we go. No freezing allowed. There we go. I can see it.
We can hear you.
Yes, my lovely face should appear here any minute.
Exactly.
But Dorri, welcome to the show. Tell us
anyway,
about yourself. Good.
Okay. Hello, my name is Dorri Goldschmidt. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm an optometrist, and I'm still working and practicing and helping keep people's vision healthy and clear so they can continue reading awesome books. I mean, I love the audiobooks, but there's something about just reading it and interpreting it in my own mind that I like as well. But I am a big fan of Galaxy Press and what Author Services do. I'm a big fan of a good story, and the LRH's Pulp Fiction stories are just hilarious to me. The characters are awesome. They're short enough that I can read one and finish it, and just it makes me laugh out loud. So I was able to I don't know. We'll explain how Joe got one from this optometrist.
Yeah, you gifted it. Yeah.
But I have some very good friends at Author Services and Galaxy Press, and one special lady and I came up with this cool idea of, I would love to share it with everybody in the whole universe, but I'm just an optometrist from Birmingham, Alabama. But we thought of, how about let's share these for people who might appreciate them, and that way they can tell other people, well, much better than I could. So anyway, she said, well, I know this guy. He loves LRH's books. He's a big fan. He helps us. He promotes the writing contest, which I love. And we sent him one.
There's your iPad.
Yeah. And it's like the easy button for readers. Boom, push the button. I call it punch them in the face. Boom, punch it in the face, and the story starts. So
I love it. So I'm just telling you. I'm going to tell you thank you again since you're right here in public with us. But
yay.
this thing is great. I enjoy it. Now, it's been fun because I get to tease a lot of people with. We give away a lot of books in the network. And especially during the holidays, we give away a ton. So ever since people have seen this, because it was back there where the case is, and people started seeing it, and they're like, well, when are you going to give it away? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not giving it away. So it's been an ongoing project now for the last 2 months. I've been getting steady emails. Oh, well, are you going to give it away this holiday? John was laughing earlier because one lady called me, a friend of mine. Well, eventually you'll get through with it, reading it, and you'll just give it to someone. Right? So I'm not giving it to you. I said, guys, there's enough material in here to keep me busy for a couple of years. I said, there's both audio and video. So I said, I can enjoy it. I can listen or I can read. And, and things I want to read, I can always put it on audio, Sam, or something, so it'll talk to me. It's just a nice thing to have because I don't get to relax anymore because everybody's always got me running in 500 million different directions. So this is an easy way. And I was on the phone with a customer a while. One of them was playing the one about, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's about secret or some type of weapons. And I was really enjoying it. My customer called me and I was like, look, dude, what do you want? And he's going on and on and on. He said, what's that playing in the background? I said, oh, it's something from L. Ron Hubbard. I said, you probably don't even know who he is. Oh, I know who he is. I'm like, okay, well, I was trying to listen to it before you rudely called me and interrupted me. Now, what do you want? So I go back to listen. He's like, well, you're being rude. I said, no, man, it's Friday. I was enjoying the ride. It's a nice ride in this morning. It's, pads on the seat. It's playing. I don't have to worry about it. I'm just listening. And I said, no, you got a call with some BS aggravating me. He's like, well, I'll just let you go back to your listening. I was like, and then when I seen him later in the day, about 2 hours later, he's like, where'd you get that from? And I said, oh, some friends of ours over at Writers of the Future and Galaxy Press. And they're like, really? Can I get one? I said, yeah, here, I'll give you the place to go buy one right now. And he's like, well, what's on it? I said, why don't you go? I said, here's the website, which later on, ladies, we're going to put this up. But I said, here's the website so y'all can go look around and peruse and get and see what you want. Because I think it's a great thing, especially when it's all loaded. I mean, there's so much stuff in there. John talked me into listening to something later, and I'm going to start listening to it. I'll be brain dead in a couple of months, people, so don't worry about it. But, Dorri, this thing has been great, and I've been telling everybody about it. And it is really funny because the other night I was doing a show out of New York City, and we got to talking about writers on an off chance kind of thing. It wasn't even what the show was about. And I said, well, you ever heard of Writers of the Future? And we went through the whole spiel about, how y'all get in the course. Because, it took a little convincing of John. I'm not going to lie. We've been talking off now 4 or 5 years. And I'm always leery when things sound too good to be true. So when I start talking to them, they say, oh, it's free. We don't want anything. Or you can win awards. You can come be part of the school. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a blind thing. Nobody knows who you are. The whole time I'm like, no, man, you're BSing me, man. I said, no. Then he brings in Emily's pretty face to try to smooth it over. I'm like, no. I said, I'm being suckered in here. I can see it coming. This is going on. And then I realized, no, they're exactly who and what they said they were. And to me, that's a blessing. Because I'm not real easy about promoting anything. I don't really lend my name too much anymore because a lot of times I find that stuff is not what it appeared to be in the start. But this is exactly what it is. I tell everybody to take the course, even though I'm losing hair because of this course. I'm telling you, it's costing me hair because I'm trying to concentrate on writing anything, which is I could just say has been. If I put a videotape in here when I'm doing a course, it would be literally hilariously funny. I mean, because I'm cussing at the thing. I'm looking at it. God, I know this is going to work this way. But guys, I'm telling you, if y'all going to take the course, which we're going to put up in a little while as well, you really get a lot out of it. It actually has helped my writing. It's made me pay more attention to how I'm thinking about things. It's also made me pay more attention about my grammar. Because honestly, when I'm writing, my grammar is, how can I say this politely, non-existent. Poor John's got to have a reference chart just to read what I'm sending him half the time. And for anybody listening who knows me, yes, it is JoJo Ease. That's all my hosts, all the former hosts, all my managers, everybody who's worked for me in the past will tell you they call it JoJo Ease. It's my own personal shorthand. It's my brain works too fast. My fat fingers is what it is. But anyway, welcome, guys. John Emily, Dorri, welcome to the show. So, Dorri, how did you hook up with these guys?
Well, I met one of the people who work at Galaxy Press when I was in California. I mean, we were in a coffee shop, I think, and she just said, "Hey, are you are you a reader? Because I was reading something, because I'm always reading something. And I was like, yeah. And she had some information with her about the Pulp Fiction books, because she was trying to get them into public schools, right? So we struck up a conversation, and she showed me kind of the program I think it was even the pilot. They were just starting it, of getting these books into kids. And I was like, I'd never heard of them. I've never seen them. And she gave me one of the books. And so it was about this big, and I took it home and I just read it like before I went to bed one night. It was just a funny book. It made me laugh out loud. And I've been doing some serious stuff all day. So that was such a nice reprieve. And so she gave me her card and her number, and I called her. This was before texting. And was it before cell phone? I don't think so. I called her and I said, hey, I want to help you. And so we kind of slowly started trying to figure out how I could. And because I want good things to read. I want our kids to read good things. And, so we actually put them in every school in Alabama. So they're in their libraries. So, and it's amazing all the books that are like boys would read. Most of the books look like they're for girls. And so
a lot of them are in Alabama. It's and I got a lot of friends in Alabama, and I shouldn't say this because they'll probably smack me when they see me, but most of my guy friends aren't real big readers. And a lot of it is lack of stuff. To put this in, a good friend of mine, Richard, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about something. He's trying to write a book himself, and that's what I was talking about the course. And he's like, Joey, he said, when I was growing up in this state, there just wasn't much to read. He said, a few libraries would have some sci-fi in it, or they had some mystery in it. He said, but most of it was just books that I just weren't interested in. A lot of it was the Southern history. I mean, we grew up with that, so we don't need to be taught that. So, he said, it just wasn't conducive. And he said recent times, and it might be because of y'all, but he said in recent times he's been finding a lot more books that are readily available to read. He said that a lot more schools now. His son goes to a school outside of Birmingham. He said he noticed that he's actually getting into a little bit more sci-fi, and there seems to be more books. And he said he has noticed books coming home with him that doesn't seem to be school issued, and,
right.
And it seems to be something he's interested in. And I can understand it because I went to a lot of private schools, so it was a little different for me. And first, I went to Catholic schools, which was just nightmarish, which sounds bad. What can I say? And then I went to private schools because my mom said, you're too bad to go to Catholic schools. We're going to put you in private schools. So it was a little different for me. In private schools, there's always a lot of material to read. There's a lot of stuff around. They take the time to really educate you. And for me, it was different. They encouraged, we went to 6 operas a year. We went to 5 ballets a year. We went to special reading courses. We went to go meet authors. And it was just a different way to go to school. And it's a shame that not all kids can experience that, because I also did, when my dad passed away, I also went to public school for 2 years. And when I changed, I was in 10th grade. And I was like, what a complete and utter waste of time. Everything, when I became a junior at East Jefferson, there was nothing I hadn't had 2 years earlier in private school. Nothing I hadn't had. And as far as reading any kind of material, because I was board school, I was looking for something to do while they were teaching to the kids, because I was just going through the tests like there was nothing. And there just wasn't nothing there. I mean, it was just garbage. It just was pure garbage. So it was just a waste of time. So I like to see anybody who's willing to help out to get young minds thinking about other things in their video games and the nutcases we call politicians. They need a break like the rest of us do.
Yep, totally. They need that fantasy. Watching I have a 7-year-old grandson, and one of his favorite things to do is watch other kids do stuff on YouTube. I'm like, oh my gosh. Let's go outside. Let's do something. And he loves it, but you got to pull him away from it. And he has an awesome imagination. So stories spark that,
Man, this mic is having difficulties tonight. It does. I got to say, I grew up on a lot of sci-fi. It helped me get through a lot of stuff when I was young. I used to get these horrific nightmares when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. In a way, it was a good thing. I hate to say it like this because, one, it encouraged me to do a lot more sci-fi reading. And I still remember the psychologist told me one day, his school counselor actually goes, maybe it's some sci-fi books you're reading. I said, no, actually, it's between the sci-fi books I'm reading and the Star Trek episodes I'm watching. I've been able to train my mind when I feel a dream kick in I can take control of it and make it into either one of the stories I was reading in the book or a Star Trek episode and participate in it, which I didn't know, by the way, was a big deal. Nobody ever told me. I was a kid. What the hell did I know? I found out later on when I was taking advanced psychic courses that, that was a big deal. I was like, oh, well, okay, I didn't know that. But it was self-taught, and that stuff really helped me to get through those early years all the way through. When my dad died when I was 16, believe it or not, sci-fi helped me get through a lot of that. It was a good way for me to just disappear without being angry all the time. And I was raised.
You're divergent.
But it did. It helped me in a lot of ways. So anybody who's out there helping people who can get interested in any good reading, I mean, reading is just a good thing all the way around. Lots of people in my family read. I wish I could read like my wife or the kids do. I mean, they're like, oh, books. Oh, okay, I'm done. Book. Wait, I'm done. 500 pages. Oh man, that's a short thing. Let me just read that right now. I'm like, what? So at one time before Hurricane Katrina, we actually had almost 4,000 books in the house. That because I get a lot of guests who send me books, and if they send them a signed autograph, I'll put it on the file. Well, what happened when Katrina came in? We didn't necessarily get a lot of water in our house, but it got just damp enough that every book in the house swelled. They were useless. They went from this wide to like this wide. They were and a lot of them just melted. And I was
Wow.
Well, so we're still ongoing recovering that collection of books. And I get people. I mean, we get a lot of people who donate books every year, but it's an ongoing thing. We used to have a paranormal sci-fi ufology library in New Orleans that we do limited library out of the house. And say, look, come bring what you want. See, and because a lot of neighborhoods, and I see this a lot in Alabama too. I see it a lot in East Hill and Pensacola and a couple other places. They have those little what the hell you call them? They're just little book boxes outside of somebody's house with 10, 20 books in them. But like in East Hill, there's 30 of them in one neighborhood.
Nice.
So I was like, and down here where I live in Henderson Point, there's about 15 of them. And people don't steal anything. They break them. You see books there all the time. A lot of them are good books. I was surprised. A lot of them are hardback. I was like, really? Okay. And people want to share. Well, East Hill and Pensacola is an artiste community. I'm going to say it right so I don't get in trouble. And where I live here in Henderson Point is / vacation and artiste community. So I'm not exactly sure how I ended up here. I have about as much art talent as a rock. I pick on it all the time, but if I draw a stick man, I'm not sure if you know what's a stick man. So it's bad. I have talents, just not in any of the artistic things. I can't draw. I can't even sing in the shower, so I don't pretend like I can.
One of the things I was talking with Dorri about earlier was just on the stories themselves, how they're all like PG, So like these are stories that we've got people that are the grandparents, but we've also got the kids and military. Everybody's able to enjoy these things, so they're just good, fun stories, and it's one of the reasons why we're so excited to talk to you about it tonight, because it's applicable to everybody. I mean, we've done a lot also in from other countries, for English as a second language. Just makes it, because we got the audiobooks you actually listen to in there, they can listen to the audiobook and read along the book, and it just improves their English. So we've got a lot of people in a lot of foreign countries that listen to these stories, but because there's no profanity in it, they can enjoy it. It doesn't violate any religious codes.
Yeah, somebody was trying to talk me in just 3 days ago. I was reading something off the pad into the room, into one of the chat rooms. I was on air, but I was reading, and they're like, "Why don't you just let us play?" I said, "No, go buy the damn thing." I said, "That's the whole point. That teaser." I said, "Listen, I said, no, I'm gonna sit here and play this thing because we did. Which one we did? We did the it was the 50-hour one last New Year's.
Oh yeah,
And,
Battlefield Earth.
we did Battlefield Earth last New Year's, and just before that we had done H.G. Wells H.G. Wells. Sorry, we did War of the Worlds. Yeah, and Orson Welles, and the thing of it is it's just a nice feature. There's three. That's we did two operas, and then with the Johnson, and it was a nice flow. And I still remember this lady. I was actually in Blue Mountain Beach, Florida, which is a beautiful vacation. I was actually in watercolors where I really was, and so I'm down there, and this lady calls me on the 273 number. We have a calling number 504-273-7379, and I pick up the phone like a dummy, and because I'm supposed to be relaxing, because I got this thing on full. I know it's good for 50 hours. I don't have to worry about it. So she's calling me, asking me all kind of questions. I'm like, I said, I'm gonna give you the site to go to so you can look. this woman must have called me 30 times. My wife was like, "What are you having an affair or something?" I said, "Apparently so." It's a crazy woman from California. But she was enthralled in it, and she couldn't get enough of it. And I said, "Well, it's going to be playing nonstop." I said, "So it'll play, and then in a couple of weeks it'll play again because of the people. I said, nobody's going to sit there and listen for the whole 50 hours." I said, "That way y'all can catch it, whatever you missed as it's playing." But it did really well. I mean, a lot of people listened to it. A lot of people enjoyed it. There's great sound effects in it. There's just great actors in it. I got to say, what's his name plays Travolta's role better than he did. Oh, what is his name? I just seen him today, too. Man, went right out of my head. What is the guy, the voice actor? He's got a great voice.
The voice that does Charlie?
He played
Charlie Davis.
Charlie Davis.
Oh, yeah. That's
Charlie
He's
Davis.
got a great.
Charlie Davis.
And
Yeah.
he was cracking me up, and actually, it's just fun to listen to. And for me, it's easier because I can let the backside of my brain escape while I'm doing something else. So it can be playing on a computer, or it can be playing on the side, and I can be listening while I'm posting archives, doing this, doing that. Working up bids for my day job, and Joe's actually doing that just before I called Josh, putting bids together for a construction job. And dealing with these people.
That's what's really good, because I think when we first worked with you, we gave you the flash drive, that audiobook on the flash drive, right? That little, the drive for the Battlefield audiobook. Is that how? Yeah, so it's a real cute little thing. You can get it at galaxypress.com. All 50 hours of the audiobook is like just on a little drive that you can plug into any USB port.
It's a great thing, and it's all of this is such a nice thing to do. And people ask me all the time. I said it's writersofthefuture.com. It's an easy website. It's a clean, easygoing website. People, it's well put together. It flows real nice. I went through the writers course all the way up until about 2 episodes to the end, and then I went back and restarted it because I'm driving my own self crazy, which is that far of a drive. Let's be honest about it. But still, and I have to be honest about this. I have learned something from every chapter this thing I've taken so far. Now, granted, I'm nowhere near kind of skilled writer of any kind. But if I can learn stuff, and I say this every time I talk about this, I said, if I can learn stuff from these people, anybody can. I mean, come on, let's just be honest about this. Yeah. I mean, look, somebody else said, well, you're finished. I said, yeah, I have a bachelor in science. It's true. I do have a degree, but not in this. And I don't know. I really enjoy all of it. And I think for me, it's a good fit because I have noticed personally, like the other day, I was drafting a letter out to YouTube. And not a nice letter, but I was drafting a letter out to YouTube, and I noticed when I put it together, I had put it together differently because I had drafted one about 8 months ago, and I had just, for giggles, I went back and it wasn't even close to the same. This letter it sounds much more professional. It's a much better put together letter, and that just helped me because now when I'm drafting these things, when I'm writing, I notice it's like part of the lessons must be staying in the back of my head, just enough. Yeah. Probably Emily screaming at me, going, "Dumbass, excuse my language, do it this way." That's bad. You ever heard that? I hope they caught that.
Yeah, when I was talking with Dorri earlier today, Dorri, you were talking about too. You're doing the course now too, but it's from a different perspective, not to become a professional writer. But what you were saying?
Oh well, I never even considered taking the course. Right? I thought, well, that's for people who are writing books and novels and. That's not, I'm never going to do that. But when I was watching y'all's show that you did in January with Joe, and he was talking about him taking the course, I was like, I have to write all the time to other doctors, patients, insurance companies, and whatever. And I'm not a confident writer. I hate it. And so I thought, well, that's something that can help me just from another perspective of putting together a well-written anything. And then, so I said, well, I'm going to start it. So I started it actually this week with that in mind. And the other thing I wanted to do was my grandson's name is Liam. He's 7. And one of the things that we do is at bedtime, we'll make up stories, or we're in the car, we'll make up stories. And I thought, well, that would be cool to actually make up a story that would be more entertaining and we'd enjoy it more with just some structure. So I'm taking that course also to tell better bedtime stories. And we've done a little comic book. We start with a topic and we make a little picture and then we start telling the story and then we'll make another picture and we have no idea where it's going. Venom has done many evil and good things. Venom apparently is not always bad.
Yep,
So-
not always bad. It's interesting you said that, because just a couple of weeks ago, I was at one of our station meetings. I was talking to the host about that very same thing. I said, maybe y'all should go take the course, because one of the requirements to be a host of this network is you have to be able to do a show if a guest on the show. So, like, if y'all didn't show tonight, I'd have to do this 2 hours by myself. For me, it's not a big deal. I could talk science all night. I'm a geek at heart, but so it wouldn't be a hard thing. But for people who are learning or in the middle of becoming a good host, or used to having a co-host or guest, it's good to have the ability to be able to storytell. So you can formulate from, and it doesn't sound boring and disjointed while you're doing it. Because I was watching a host the other day just for an hour showing her guest didn't show up, and the whole thing was so disjointed. I pulled on son. I said, look, boo. I said, you need to write a list of topics to talk about. I said, but you need to get it in your head. Each topic you need to be able to visualize so that it's flowing out of your mouth comfortably. And she's actually done she was watching me. I had y'all's course online the other day. I was going backwards, actually, not forward. And they were watching me via this thing. They were watching me take the course. So I'm sharing. I want people to know. I wanted people to know it's there. I mean, this thing is a great thing. It's free. I mean, Jesus, who gives you good advice for free anymore? I mean, come on. Somebody else said, well, you're overly excited about this, Joe. I said, not really. I said, think about it. I said, you've got great writers here, like great authors. I said, I know John Emily personally. I said, they're good people. I said, they're really in this for the right reasons. I said, L. Ron Hubbard really set everybody up. And I said, this is just a nice thing all the way around. And I said, instead of trying to find some reason to hate on it or look at us, you should accept it and use it for what it is. It's a great tool. And, today people don't give free tools. I said, you should have to. I'm on an Apple phone now. Every app I want, they want to charge me for. So I'm just happy when it's free, it's good, and it's legit. I mean, it's well put together. It's well thought out. And I say this all the time. If I can understand this and use this to help me benefit, and I may one of these days actually get a book. I've got 3 books outlined, so maybe one day I'll get lucky and figure this out. But really, so far, it's just been a good thing for me all the way around. I think you enjoy it, Dorri. You'll probably go through it fast than I do because I got to stop, go back. I'm like a reject on some days going back and looking at stuff. But it's a good thing. And like the other day, I got stuck on an idea. We're getting ready to brand a new brand of YouTube for the station. And I got stuck on an idea. And out of the blue, one of the lessons pops in the back of my head. Just pops in the back of my head. So it helped me. I got with a couple of the hosts, and we sat down and we came up with we're looking for the international branding for the network because we go to so many countries around the world. So it actually helped with that branding, which will probably start in a couple of weeks, which will be courtesy of Writers of the Future, by the way. It just popped into my head, and after it popped in my head, I approached the naming in a different way, and it made it a lot easier. And when I was talking with the host, they kind of got a little lesson out of it that helped them as well. So, I mean, I've got some veteran hosts on the network that could put God to sleep from talking nonstop, but we got a lot that really got to learn. They've got to do it. But,
Joe, I'm glad to hear that it's helping you like that.
Joe, I also recently surveyed some people because we've had like 5,000 people on this course from over 100 different countries. And we surveyed some of them and just find out who's Dorri, you mentioned you're taking the course, and Joe, it's 2 very different reasons why you're taking the course. So we surveyed people, and a lot of them are aspiring authors. There's some people that have had no writing experience taking the course. We've got professional New York Times bestselling authors taking the class, just trying to brush up on things. And then there was a percentage of people who were just online looking for something to do during the lockdown. So we have a wide range of everybody taking the course, but I think there's something for everybody in there. It was somebody who writes blogs and they just wanted to learn how to help them write blogs. So, it's a wide range. It's there for everybody. Anybody can just go to writersofthefuture.com and it's super easy to sign up.
Yeah,
Free.
matter of fact,
Go in,
I think
make yourself an account.
Well, I was just going to say, I think I'm on the registration page right now. Go over there and make an account, people. I'm telling you, you're going to like it. You're going to like it. It'll help you out. And look, you can actually write to them and they'll respond. I don't write to him because I know sooner or later I'm going to talk to him, so I'm going to ask him in person. Like, y'all can write to him, I do respond. Yeah, well, that's because I know him. That's why, Jack. But no, I'm serious. You can write in if you got questions or you get stuck on something. Write to them, and maybe they can help you out. Because when you listen to some of these videos, because these some big names on these videos, and these guys, you need to pay attention to them. Matter of fact, while we're on that, John does a podcast on Mondays for Writers of the Future, and these are a lot of the award winners who have won, either for writing or artwork. And you should really go listen to them. There's a lot of good stuff in here. So if you take the course and you listen to these other videos of these other authors, it really gives you an idea of what an author is. Because I got to be honest, I've probably interviewed well over 500 authors in the last 20 years, but I really personally didn't understand what an author was. I just thought they were kind of weird, a little flaky, a little strange, a little out there sometimes. But no, I actually have a much better understanding now of who and what they are, and it helps.
Yeah,
it also helps.
And I don't know if you can see this or not. This is an award I got for the Writers of the Future podcast on the People's Choice, and this is after the first year. We already got an award after the first year, so we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, hopefully you get another one this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hopefully everybody wins a few awards this year. They actually hold on, Christopher. You know what? Let me switch chat rooms so I can see better over here. Okay. Hey Wayne, how you doing? Hey Gail, hey Hummer, how y'all doing, guys? Wayne said hi, Dorri. Make somebody you know. Okay, I can't read those comments. This is a G-rated show.
What about cleavage? What? No.
Okay. Oh no, you mean how do you subscribe? No. Wait, hold on. I'll bring the page up in a second. But no, entering a contest is easy. There it is, right there. That's the page. Look, all you got to do is go over to writersofthefuture.com and everything's right there. And you can see you're looking at the site with us. It's clean, it's functional, it does not lag, it doesn't have a bunch of problems. You can see it flows real easy. Everything you click on right works without any problems at all. Whoever put it together did a good job, and they have a good server because it runs smooth. But go over there, people, and you can learn about the judges and stuff. And I know y'all don't believe me, so I'm gonna get all three of these gentlemen. Jesus, sorry, ladies. All three of the guests to tell you about this, but the judges don't know who you people are. So they said you send your story in or your artwork.
Well, you can click on go to the writer judges. You can click on that, and they can see who the writer judges are.
Okay, we'll go down here. Click.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, look at his handsome people.
Look at it, Kevin J. Anderson. So he's, he writes Dune prequels and sequels, and there you got Orson Scott Card. He was the author of Ender's Game. Probably all saw that film.
And this game was a good movie too. It was a little different. It had a little different ending than most people thought.
Yeah.
There's some good people in here. I've heard of some
authors, major names in science fiction and fantasy. There's Frank Herbert. He's the guy that wrote Dune, the original author of Dune.
Yep.
And to his left is Brian Herbert, his son, who's now a judge.
Anne McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good judges in here. There's a good group of people in here. Guys, you're going to be judged by professionals, which is nice, and they're not going to know who you are. So before anybody writes to me, oh, I'm black, I can't get in. I'm purple, I can't get in. I'm from Mars, they won't let me. It's BS, people. They don't care what color you are. They don't care what sex you are. They don't care about any of that. All they care if is you got skill or not, and that's the truth. So, and now don't take this the wrong way.
Right.
If you got a lack of skill, you're not going to get in. I'm going to be honest with you. But if you're skilled, you're trying to get out there and you got a good story and you put it together well, these guys will give you a fair shake. And if it's good, a friend of mine, or I should say a friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine, Preston Dennett, what was he, 34 years? 34 years anyway. He said
47 times.
Yeah, and he finally won. So he learned each time. Matter of fact, I did an interview with Preston about that, and he said it. He helped him develop his writing skills, and Preston does quite a lot of writing. So, guys, I mean, give it a shot. Trust me, when I finally figure out how to put this one together that I've been working on, I'm gonna send it in. Well, I'm gonna do like a short version and send it in because it'd be too long otherwise. Oh man! Or if I don't drive all my friends and family and colleagues crazy first, that could happen too. Because the other day, my business partner was laughing. He thought I was drafting part of a bid for a customer. And he comes up, he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working on an outline for a book." He's like, "You know we at work, right?" I said, "Yeah, don't I own the company?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, so leave me alone. Let me go back to what I was doing." No, you know how it is. An idea hits you. You got to do it when you can. And I am the boss, so that's just how it is.
Okay.
But people think I became the boss by accident. No, I've always been the boss. Everywhere I worked as a boss. I like being the boss. I feel way more comfortable.
What's interesting is I just everybody has a fair shake. I was just scrolling through to find the winners from the first quarter of year 38, and we've got a winner from Iran, from Spain, and from Singapore for the illustrator contest. And so we have people from all over the world. We have winners, and it's one quarter last year we had all winners from the Writers and Illustrators Future contest were female 1 year. I mean 1 quarter. That never happened before. It's just strictly based upon merit that somebody will win, and we find out when the entry gets sent to the judges, and it just has a number assigned to it. So when the judge it comes back, so we take the number and see what name goes with that, and that's when we know where they're from. So it's always amazing to find out. This is our second win from Iran that just came up, and it's great seeing the diversity of talent that we're getting in these contests.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and
I know Dorri, you've been reading for a long time.
Yeah. My first book I ever read was a Hardy Boys mystery. Somebody handed it to me as I was taking in fourth grade, driving like 5 hours in the car in the back seat. That someone, oh, by the way, here's a book. I'd never read a book before, and I just could not put it down. And that was from then on. The introvert found something to do. I was the girl who read at lunch. Don't talk to me, I'm reading. But that started it with the Hardy Boys book.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so now with these stories from with the Rise of the Future, one thing that's great about them is that they're short stories, but there's something guaranteed for everybody. And that's why, I mean, Joe, you've done several giveaways of the Rise of the Future books on your shows over the last multiple years. And it's also what's great about these books and the Riders of the Future is that gives you kind of like the benchmark of how good you have to be. And these writers now have gone from being amateur to pro when they get published in this book. And so it just shows, what do you have to aspire to? But a lot of the winners have read the stories over and over again just to find out, okay, how do you introduce a character? How do you start a story? How do you do these different things? Because that's how you do it. You have to read. And so these are, if you're going to play the game of Writers of the Future and being able to get published in it, and a lot of people are. We got thousands of people working on becoming winners. You have to look and see what's the competition, what's the field like, what do the judges look for? Because it's obviously these stories are something that's applicable for middle school on up. They're not they're PG rated stories. They're not R rated. They're not X rated for sure. So it's something that you can actually learn yourself. How to write a good story and how to get good action and storytelling without having to use certain devices that other people like to use, like profanity and sex. You don't need that to tell a good story.
Right.
Okay. What was that, Hazel?
Are there any people asking questions about either
Actually,
I
was actually popping over. See, Hazel just wanted to know where she could get my iPad at. I said, I'll get y'all the address. No, you can't have my. Wait. Say that again, Emily.
Galaxypress.com.
Okay. So
you go to galaxypress.com. There's this shot that goes and get it.
Yeah, so you already know I'm on there, so y'all go look. No, mine is. I don't know what it is. What it was because I touched it. Is that what this is? Do you want something that Joe touched? Come on, get off my iPad. Y'all ain't getting it.
It's a gift from Dorri to Joe. So.
Yeah, that's right. I don't give away gifts, so y'all can get over that. No, you haven't noticed. I do give away a lot of books, but I don't give away the autograph copies. Those are personal. Yeah, I got some. Well, somebody offered me $1,500 I had Michio Kaku sign a book for me. I'm like, for a Michio Kaku book, $1,500? I'm like, I almost sold it to him. I was kind of like, I said, I'll talk to you. I was like, but I mean, really, that's not even worth it. But because we get a lot of good authors, and I'll usually ask them for 2 copies. I'll usually ask them for an autographed copy made out to myself at the station, or I'll have them send one that we can give away later in the year. And a lot of the authors will send me more than one. They'll say, "Oh, here, let me send you 5 or 10," because they know during the holidays. So what we do is we tease everybody through the holidays, and we'll give them a couple away. That way, we'll get a couple of people to buy some as well. So get out there because they make great Christmas presents. We talk about it for all of November, December. We do authors, and so it's a holidays go buy a book. Especially this last year, Jesus. With COVID, I was giving away books. I think I gave away, I want to say 450 books for Christmas this year.
Wow.
And
That's awesome,
and I was like, no, people. I had 3 companies, including one from Amazon. Amazon sent me a link where they could just go. They gave us 100 books. You could just go choose which book you wanted.
That's nice.
Yeah, I don't even know why they did it because as far as I know, I don't know anybody over there. Somebody was.
Something you have in common with Dorri, you both give books out, so you're both promoting literacy, which is fantastic. It's very, very nice of you.
Trust me, in the South, giving away all the books you can is a good thing. Getting people to read down here is a good thing. It's gotten way better since I was a young man, but still. Yeah.
They don't
always
use them anymore. We don't have to use them in the outhouses anymore in Alabama.
That's right. It's Alabama, by the way, is the best kept secret in the United States. I'm not allowed. All my Alabamian friends tell me I'm not allowed to talk about the state because they don't want any of y'all people coming to their state. And if you've ever been to Alabama, you'll know why. First off, it's a hidden gem. It is a beautiful state. The bottom part of the state is fabulously gorgeous with the Gulf Coast and the swamps and all the parks. The northern part of the state's all mountainous with chateaus. And then it's just a beautiful state. And it's well hidden. And they got a lot of big companies there that are military companies because nobody really talks about this, but Alabama is considered the first state. And what they mean by that is they judge states by how well you can trust the people that work for you, how fast they would sell a secret. Alabama's considered number 1 in keeping a secret. Wow. By the way, I hate to tell y'all this, y'all Cali people, y'all are last.
Interesting.
Only one state who come close to y'all was New York. So
yeah.
It was, but yeah. It was really funny to see it because there's certain states, and I didn't realize it until after I looked at the map. These are states where the government has, or not so much the government, companies that work for the government who have big contracts there. And Southern Alabama, there's a lot of hidden places down there. There's a lot of military stuff going on, but you don't really see it. It's just kind of off to the side. And because Alabama likes to keep its beauty separate from its whatever else it's doing. And Mobile's an interesting town. It's kind of small, but it's interesting. Got a great Mardi Gras, by the way. Yes. It is. And that's another thing. Last year we gave away. We did. We were the press for them, but they gave away 380 books in Mobile. Nice. It was like a bookmobile fair kind of thing. We just got the books supplied, and the company gave them out. And so that's a nice thing too. And we do it. We don't get to do it in Mississippi as much because Mississippi's got some weird rules about giving out books. Yeah, I'm not even going to ask because it's probably one of the things that can be kicked out the state or something. It's not that because it just doesn't make any sense. Louisiana, okay, you go on a street corner and give them away. But Mississippi's, it's like it's almost like they don't want you interfering in whatever they're teaching their children here, which doesn't seem to be a bad thing. I just don't understand why it's just sci-fi books. Some of them are sci-fi, some of them mysteries. It's a lot of different stuff, but it's all good reading. None of it's nasty, none of it's bad. There's not a lot of violence or sex and a curse and everything. So I'm not sure why they're so anti that in Mississippi. Mississippi, I still love y'all. I'm just saying, I still love y'all. Don't hate on me. It just don't want to get kicked out quite yet. With that Gloria. So what do you mean? Oh, okay. So Gloria wants to know, Dorri. He said, first off, why'd you spend all that money giving out books? That was kind of rude, actually. I'm sorry.
Well, someday I'm going to be an old person, and the kids that are around today are going to be in charge of me. I want smart kids with imaginations who can imagine a future. So it's very selfish. Honestly, it's because I want a better world later, because we're all going to be there. These kids are going to be in charge. So I want
that scares me, by the way.
For themselves. Exactly. So we have a hand in that, that future. What we do now as adults with these children affects what they'll do later, and they're going to be in charge. So that's why.
It's look at how pretty that is. It's I agree. We need to get them interested in anything that makes them read.
Yeah.
And the more the merrier. I was fortunate in our family, reading was something that was expected of us. Going to private school, we were required for 6 years, we were required to read all the classics and do book reports on them. And I still remember I was reading, what was it? The Red Fern Grows. I was like, what? I had no idea what this book was going to be about. It left an impression on me, apparently. But it was just one of those books, and I would have never read it otherwise. Like, oh yeah, I would have never read any of that stuff if it wouldn't have been going to school. I'd have been like, "What? I'm not reading a book called Red Fern. That's just not going to happen." But because I had a really great English teacher. Matter of fact, she was Miss Fowles, and her son actually taught spelling and not mathematics, something else. But they were a great combination, and they really took the time and worked with you. And she had a real interest in making sure that kids left her course way more literate than they came in. So it was a book a week the whole time we were in her class. And she taught from 6th grade to 12th grade. So everybody in those courses were constantly reading. And she handpicked every book. And the best part about it is she read every book, so she knew if you were screwing around when you did a report. She said, you didn't read the book. She said, you left a cliff note. You didn't read the book. She said, go back and read the book. I'm a failure. She was tough, but she was fair. And she was good. And she took an interest, and she said, well, I know you like to read certain kind of books. She said, so I'm going to expand your horizon, and you're going to read these kind of books. And I was like, okay, really? I was like, no way, teacher. This looks boring as hell. Actually, I enjoyed all of it. She had a really good knack for picking books.
Nice.
And so it was a nice thing. And like I said, I was lucky. I was exposed to a lot of literature growing up, and we were exposed to, readings. We'd go to readings in the park. Matter of fact, a place in Alabama, come to think about this, they have readings, but they also, it's in Fairhope, Alabama, actually. And the Fairhope is like what America should be, just like watercolor. It's like America should be. They're nice, they're friendly, it's clean. All their corners have flowers on them. They have flowers going on. All their trees. The place is just beautiful. And everybody is just ungodly friendly. They are. But on Saturdays, they do readings at sunset. So someone does a reading as the sun comes down. On Sunday, they have an orchestra that plays the sun down. It's beautiful. It's great sunsets there. You get beautiful sunsets. You can see Mobile Bay and Mobile behind you. You can also see the Gulf to the left. Great sunset, beautiful, great music. It's usually by the Mobile Philharmonica, so it's an enjoyable place to just go hang out and sit back and snobby. Who's snobby? Because I want to go listen to someone get out of here with that BS, man. Come on. Snobby. No, it's called culture. Yeah, see, there's a difference. Yes. No, and by the way, Christopher, since you're being smart, but you don't have to go and listen. Just put this in perspective. Right where I live right now, you can walk out on my deck at sunset. I live in the Mississippi Gulf Coast on the Holly Bayou. And there's a gentleman who likes to play an electric guitar every once in a while to the sunset. He's really, really good. I have no idea what he's playing, but it sounds pretty good. And pretty much the whole neighborhood in 6 blocks in any direction can hear him. But he plays it right with the sunset. It seems to be fairly soothing. He does a good job. So it doesn't have to be that. I just like a decent music while the sun's coming down. And sometimes I'll go out and videotape them just in quiet. But people, you gotta relax. And that's like my friends and even my wife. When we go to the beach, they always had a good book with them. And they'd be laid out reading all day long.
Get sunburned.
Yeah, and get burned. Yeah, get burned because that's like I remember when my wife was reading the Vampire Chronicles, and I was like, she's a big Anne Rice fan. They would drive me crazy with this shit. I was like, come on, people. I don't hear nothing more about Anne Rice. I said, I know she's local. I know she's great. I don't hear nothing else about her. I had to hear
one of Dorri's favorite authors.
I read all of them.
Yeah, see, she's and she's good. And I gotta say, it didn't quite translate to the movies. They weren't bad. I'm not gonna hate, but it didn't. There seemed to be, especially when it came to Louis, and there just seemed to be some stuff missing. And to Mike, that is true. Anne Rice did say that the vampires like to come to New Orleans because people walking around in the quarter get loaded or high or whatever, and they suck their blood and they get loaded or high themselves. Yeah, they've been talking about that for 300 years now here. Anne Rice didn't invent that. She picked that up from the local lore. They say one of the reasons vampires come here into France is because of those reasons. It's they're late night cities, and people are walking around loaded up, and New Orleans has got small roads. It's dark, dark, dark. There's not a lot of lighting. It's an old city. It's 300 years old. God knows what's bubbling underneath the grounds out there, man, Lord. And that's another thing. You can go right now, go pull up in Jackson Square, and there'll be 100, 150 people sitting around the square in front of St. Louis Cathedral reading books.
Yep.
Just relaxing, and
Nice.
and a lot of times there'll be somebody. Matter of fact, there'll usually be somebody there. Either one of the steamboats will be playing a calliope to the sunset, or there'll be somebody out there playing jazz to the sunsets. But and reading the book, and you can't really ask for better than that. Well, you can get a daiquiri. Yes, I understand. Okay, yes. If you want a daiquiri while you're reading, I don't have any problem with that.
Hurricane.
That's right. We'll allow you one, so you don't forget the story you read. Gail, what you got? Okay. Gail wants to know. She said the question is directed at Dorri, but she would appreciate John and the answer as well. She said, what would you think would be if you had to pick one thing about Galaxy Press to push out to the people, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
The contest, just because it's creating future books, I go on their website every once in a while and watch the annual award ceremony. So if anybody wants to be inspired to be an author or want a good cry when you see somebody win an award, they're incredible. I mean, it's so inspiring to see these people come up and get their award. You hear their story, the illustrator stories, where they're from, and they're sitting there just pouring their hearts out and thanks for that opportunity. And it just makes you like them so much. And I mean, they're entertaining. I mean, how many award ceremonies are there to watch that are on the website? There's a lot. Just, and I've read the book, so I can go, oh, that's that author now, and you put their personality with their story and the illustrators, and it's just so entertaining. So it's the writing contest. It is. I mean, I love Rachel's books. They're amazing, and they communicate what he intended, but the legacy that goes on in the future is what everyone else is going to write.
See, I would agree with that, Dorri, but I'll let the Goodwins go next.
I was going to ask Dorri what was your favorite book from Galaxy Press?
Oh, that's really hard and not fair.
I am with Dorri.
Oh.
Here's why. My name is Dorri, and I was here before Ellen DeGeneres' Dorri the Fish. So I do not remember names or stories or even movies. My whole life, I'd pick up a book and I'd read it. The first page, I'm like, oh, crud, I've read this book already. I don't remember. So that's why. You have to, if you ask me an author's name and what they wrote, I mean, I don't know. And same with movies. I'll ask my husband. There'll be a movie on. I go, oh, did we see this one yet? And he's like, yeah, we saw it. And I'm like, but I'll remember once we start watching a movie, or I'll start reading a book. But to call out the title and the author, except for the obvious author here, I'm not going to be able to help you out on that one.
I know.
For me to answer the question of the listener there, I actually really like the stories from the Golden Age stories there, mostly because, like on my job, I have to deal with a lot of just interact with a lot of things, and I'm on the web quite a bit, and I get barraged with not necessarily good news all the time. It's just keeping up with what's happening up there and cross flowing the political stuff. It can leave you kind of like bummed. And so these stories from the Golden Age, these books that you've been listening to, Joe, they were written in the 1930s and 40s at a time when America was going through its depression. They just finished World War I. World War II was in the horizon. People didn't know if they're going to have a job tomorrow or not. And so they were really stressed big time. And these stories were kind of like referred to as escapist fiction. You can kind of like get there and just imagine yourself in another world. And L. Ron Hubbard's characters, his heroes and heroines, they're kind of like the guy that learned to do better. They weren't necessarily doing the right thing to begin with. They were a little, maybe in trouble, something like that. But then some major thing crossroads they came across, and they had to deal and make the right decision. And it is stories they do. And so it's kind of his theme is like the man that learned better, or the woman that learned better. And so that's something I really like about these stories, that they're everyday people you can relate to, but then you learn a lesson, like you can learn to do better. And they're very fun predicaments that they're in, whether it's science fiction, fantasy, mystery, adventure, Western, romance. They all had that kind of outcome, which I really enjoy a lot. And so that's when, if you go to Galaxy Press, you go to the stories, you just go first the Golden Age, and it has all these different genres. And you can see why L. Ron Hubbard was so good at them, because he lived all these different characters. And that's some of the editors back then too. They did whole features on Hubbard as an author, because he was such an adventurer. So he grew up in the Old West, and he was a major explorer. He explored all over the world at a time when people weren't traveling. He was to China twice by the time he was 19. So he has a lot of Oriental fiction. So he was in the Marine Corps Reserve, and then he was a lieutenant in the Navy. So his military fiction is great. He was one of the first barnstorming pilots. So his air stories are really authentic.
Did we lose you now?
So it's really fun reading stories, people that force stories. So it's just something that, he has that realism, but he's a good storyteller that just, makes it really, really fun to enjoy. So that's my answer to her question.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's kind of strange. Yeah, Wayne, whatever that's questions about. Yes, I've written Harley before. Thank you very much. I've written several motorcycles. Not sure what that question is about, but I've written several motorcycles over the years. Emily, you got anything to say? Emily scares me, y'all.
No. I mean, there's so much to do, between the Writers of the Future and Galaxy Press. Galaxy Press obviously has all of the books, all the Writers of the Future books, all of the L. Ron Hubbard books. And then at the Writers of the Future website, that's like the one-stop shop for everything Writers of the Future. So that's the place you want to go if you're an aspiring author and you want to enter the Writers Contest. The Illustrators of the Future contest is there. The Writers of the Future online workshop that we've been talking about for months now, Joe, that's there on the website. The podcasts are all featured over there. There's there's over 120 podcasts there now. The blogs are there. The Writers of the Future Forum, which is a writers group, which is doing amazing. And there's been, live AMAs going on over there with famous authors. So there's just so much happening over there that it's got something for everyone.
There is, and it's like I said earlier, it's a great site. If I stop getting lost on it, it's a great site. I keep playing with stuff. Yeah. Well, I was actually at John's podcast up, and I was pulling up the SoundCloud version. For some reason, it's being a pain for some reason.
I think you're in there somewhere, Joe.
I am. All the podcasts are doing good on both sides.
Yeah, you're in there.
I see. The ones on United Public Radio are anywhere from 100,000. I think one of them broke 1 million actually. No, guys, they're good podcasts, and you can find them on both. If you go to SoundCloud, all you can do is type in Writers of the Future. It'll either take you to John's home site, or it'll take you to United Public Radio. One or the other. Either way, they're all available there. Everything he's done, plus all the new ones, are available, and we post a new one every Monday. So be sure to catch them and check them out. These are winners and no, not losers, winners. What was that about? Winners and losers. Y'all stop with these stupid comments tonight. Y'all made me crazy. We got like 4 different chat rooms going, and they're like having a ping pong session going on or something. I'm not sure what that's about. Kaylee, where you at, Kaylee? Oh, well, nice to meet you, Kaylee. Yes, I know where Daphne is, or I should say Dolphin.
Daphne.
Yeah. Well, I was on Dolphin Island last weekend, but you're Daphne. You're up by Interstate. Yeah, I know where you are. You're above Fairhope. But anyway, wait. So you've seen Dorri's books in the school? Oh, wait. Stop. Slow down. Go back. Oh, all right. So you teach school there? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. What do you teach? English. I should have known that by your grammar.
Oh,
So you've seen her books then? Oh, so you were writing. Oh, okay. I apologize. She was writing in to tell you thank you.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
oh,
Regular,
that's so nice.
That is
regular. I'm glad you're regular listening to the network. No, John and Emily join a couple of times a year. Yeah, and as I get closer to the awards coming up, we'll have one a few more times to get them. Well, I don't know this year. I don't know. Y'all haven't set plans for the awards ceremony yet, have y'all? Y'all got a date, or still waiting to hear what Callie's doing for this year's
It's
awards?
going to be late October 22nd. Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting year because in 2020 we didn't have an award show. Normally we fly all of the winners. There's 12 writer winners and 12 illustrator winners every year. We fly them out to Hollywood for a week-long workshop with the judges of the contest, and then at the end of the week there's the big awards ceremony. So that was all missed in 2020. So 2021, we're inviting both years out here at the same time. So that's going to be a crowd. We'll have 24 writers, 24 illustrators, but it's going to be awesome. And we'll do a joint event for them here in Hollywood. So it's a whole red carpet affair, and it's a big fancy event. Dorri's pretty familiar with that. Dorri, you should come out for it.
I think I'm going to be out.
should-
I actually think I am.
Yeah.
It's looking
Yeah.
more and more like I'm going to be out the whole month of October. So we were actually talking about this. Well, it depends.
Good.
You know,
Yeah, October 22nd. So we'll definitely make sure we get an invitation to you, Joe.
yeah, so yeah, because I asked the boss lady, she's going to come over. She's like, no. I said, well, it's the day after our anniversary. We go to California. She's like, no, I ain't going to Cali. I ain't going to Cali. You can't pay me enough money. I'm like, why? She's like, I'm not going out there. I'm like, okay, you stay. Well, because I'll probably be going to go because I know I had got a letter from iHeart the other day, and they were telling me about some stuff they might be doing because we're up for we're going to get like they call it an honorable mention for podcasts for like fifth best national podcasters. So they want us to come out for that and get a trophy and all. And then I'm not sure. And there's a couple other things that are going on that we've been asked to attend. So, and then somebody was telling me about. Oh no, that's not until November. Anyway,
iHeart is just up over the hill from us. I've been up there a couple times. It's close by.
And then I know People's Choice is going to be doing their awards, but I don't know. They didn't say when this year. At least I didn't see it on their site. But I wasn't looking that hard either. So I wanted to go in and pop. But while we were out there, I was talking with some friends of mine in Canada and some friends of mine up on the upper West Coast about maybe doing a little science conference while we're down there. And a science, kind of science slash, maybe kind of like some authors, some science, and maybe a little sci-fi slid in underneath. Just because we're going to be there for a while, and everybody wants to get together because nobody's seen each other, because of COVID, everybody's been stuck at home, and Canada's still locked down. They can't even get out of there right now. I got 7 hosts up there about to want to go on the warpath. They've had enough. They're like, let me out. We want to go now. But there's still, we got 2 in Thunder Bay, 1 in Ontario, 2 in Niagara Falls, 2 in BC, 1 in Saskatchewan.
Wow.
So we got the country covered pretty well. And we have a good audience in Canada. There's a lot of Canadians like us. What do you mean, Carol? Oh, no, you mean Australia? No, Canada and Australia, for us, it's about the same amount of listeners. It's a different population, but about the same amount of listeners. Yeah, anywhere from 26 to 56,000 at any given time. Right now, I can actually tell you in Australia right now, there are 29,761 people listening to us. I can see the server.
Hi, Australia.
Good on you. Good day.
We've got several winners for the concert from Australia. Several people have won. One of our top judges is from Australia, Sean Williams, and Sean Tan as an illustrator winner.
In Canada, we've got Robert J. Sawyer.
Micah is writing in from London. It's like, how's everybody doing in the wee hours? What's it, like 5 a.m. there in London? Yeah, I'm pretty good with world times, unfortunately. I have to talk to a lot of people through time zones. What do you got for us? No, you get L. Ron Hubbard anywhere. What do you mean you can't get him in the UK? Who told you that? Guys, can y'all get L. Ron Hubbard? Yeah, because you can order it from Amazon.
All of the books are available on Amazon. Sure.
I'm like, come on.
There's a whole special shop that we set up for Galaxy Press has a special page on Amazon UK.
Waterstone.
No, you
Waterstone.
yeah. John, what do you mean? Can you get the pad in English? You mean can you get it in the UK English? Is that what you're talking about? Not an American? Doofus. Yeah, I know y'all's words.
Comes with a tea bag.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you want us to translate? Yeah, it's never going to happen, man. I can't help you have different words. Americans, we refined your language. I know you like that. Huh? I'm sorry. We had to make it more efficient. Yes, we want to be more clear.
Say about the words. So, did you notice on the iPad there's a dictionary? So when you're reading the book,
Yes, because I need the dictionary.
you just put your finger in a word and it goes to the definition. So that could help the English, if they don't know what some of them words are that we use down here.
Yes, and we do use words down here in the South that people are like, what? And we have accents, too, that sometimes people up north are like, what are you saying? It's not as bad as a Scottish accent, by the way.
Yeah.
If I'm talking fast, you're like, what the hell did he just say? Yes, I can't help it. And if I'm traveling, my accent gets really screwy. If I spend too much time in Cali, everybody tells me something from England. I'm like, what?
So, do you use a hose pipe, Joe?
Yeah, he was pipe. Yes, because I remember a friend of mine said, I want to drink a water. He said, at the hose pipe. I'm like, what? I said, what are you talking about? Or bud. There's so many different words. Matter of fact, this married couple from Canada, by the way, she's Canadian and he's from the UK. So they did a video on TikTok of the different words. None of the words mean the same thing. Nothing is the same. So they're going through their house and through their car, touching things, saying what they were. I was like, okay. I don't know how these people even know what the hell they're talking about. People, I know it's English, but obviously it's not the same English. It's weird. It's weird how we came from y'all and yet speak a different language. I'm not sure what happened here, but it is funny. And no, we're not translating it into British. I don't even know if that's a real thing.
What were you going to say, Dorri?
Oh, I don't know. I was about to bring up Cajun. That Louisiana has their own dialects as well.
Oh yes. Well, it's funny because I took 3 years of French when I was in school. My grandpa and him spoke Acadian French. I never knew what the hell they were saying. I like every fifth word I would recognize. So we had some friends come down from Acadia in Canada. Well, they could talk to each other, man, like woo, woo, woo. They knew everything they were saying. But some of my French friends went down, they're like, what the hell are these people talking? Joe, that is not French. I don't know what that is, but it's not French. I said, that's Acadian French, man. That's what that is. I said, somehow or another, the Acadians and the Cajuns are cousins, and they can speak to each other. Nobody else knows what the hell they're talking about, but they do. And my grandpa used to crack up and my uncles because they were Cajuns from down in the bayou. My dad and them from Europe, but they were all, my grandparents are all from White Castle and down in the bayou. And they had heavy, thick Cajun accents. And they used all them Cajun words. And when I was young, I had to watch myself, especially when I was doing business, because in the city, it's not appreciated. Anywhere else in the state, people don't mind if you talk with a Cajun accent. But in the city, they don't like it. They feel like either you're uneducated or you're talking down to them. I have no idea why. It's a weird thing. So when I'm dealing with customers, especially in Metairie, New Orleans, places like that, I even usually kick out my normal accent. I start using my radio voice. And one of the guys just recently, a customer, he said, I noticed he's a doctor. He's a dad. He's a really good guy. He's he's a guy that does the x-rays on you to find the cancer. And he finds stuff that's amazingly small. But anyway, he was, oh, hell, I forgot what I was going to say. Chicago and brain dead. Damn it. I wanted to make that point. It went right out of my head.
Cajun.
The Cajun.
He is Cajun, but it's weird how they speak down here. They're all nice people. And you get out in the bayou, everybody's nice, and more literate than they were 20 years ago, that's for sure. If you went for a ride in the bayou just 20 years ago and stopped at everybody's house, I guarantee you there was at least one person in everybody's home that couldn't read at all. I had an uncle, I didn't find out until I was in my 30s that he couldn't read. I'm like, how can you not read? Oh, I was dyslexic. I said, why you tell somebody? I said, no teacher helps you. I said, what kind of hell is that? I said, you're 4 years old, you can't read or write. I'm like, no, man, that's not going to work. And we hooked him up with a lady who taught him how to read. She taught those dyslexic people. And now he reads all the time. He enjoys it. He didn't know what he was missing. He had no idea what he was missing.
Yeah.
And, No, Christopher. That's why I tell everybody send me audiobooks. Yeah, reading time for me is very scarce, but audio time is easy because I drive a lot. Like, see, we're doing a show right now, but like when we're done and the next show comes on, I can plug one earphone in and listen while I'm prepping for shows and posting archives and stuff like that. It's just hard for me to read because I'm always usually reading something else. Well, the station, both my jobs require a lot of reading, and the research organization I run also requires a lot of reading. So I get a lot of material on a lot of different things. A lot of it gets filtered out and sent to other people, but the stuff that I'm personally interested in, I take care of myself. Marcus, what do you got? Who is who? No, it's Emily, John, and Dorri. Yes. Why? Were you confused or something? I know he's got a nice office, don't you? He got a damn sharp office, actually. Him and I were talking about this last time he was on. We were talking about this office he's got. I know it's bad looking. I'm telling you, it's a good looking
This
office.
is the Rise of the Future Lounge.
I know he's
Yeah.
hooked up. I agree with
Behind
you.
this is the Writers' Future. So this is where people, when we bring everyone to Hollywood, just right outside on the other side of this, on the other side of the door, there is where the workshops happen for the writers when they come to Hollywood for winning the contest.
And over there,
you can
there's
see, here, I'll
you
get out of
can
the
see
way.
this is part of the library. And then right here, these are all the different places where we've had awards events. You can see there's like, it's hard to see, but there's like Mark Hamill's up there. Let's see if my finger goes. Yeah, there's Mark Hamill when he was at one of our events. We have, there's Sean Austin, Frodo. So we've had a lot of actors, a lot of astronauts, a lot of science people. And so these are various places where we've held our award ceremony. Let's see, there's Isaac Asimov. He used to come to our events. Anyways, there's a lot of up there is Ray Bradbury. Let's see if you can.
Story Musgrave.
Yeah, Ray Bradbury. So we've had a lot of major people that supported the Writers of the Future over the years and have lent their name to it because of what it's done. When it was first started, it was thought that maybe it would last for 10 years and that'd be great, but it's now in the year 38. And we've had over 700 winners over the 38 years that have been awarded. Mr. Hubbard funds the whole thing. He put it in his will that part of his legacy is to continue funding this campaign. He started in '83 after he released Battlefield Earth. And it was kind of like in celebration of 50 years as a professional writer. So he had a long history already of helping out the aspiring writer, a lot of articles that he would write for Writer's Digest that would give them tips on how to write. And so a lot of these stories you see here, these are the stories that he wrote in the 30s and 40s. His production rate was, he'd write close to 100,000 words a month, and he traveled a lot, so it gave him a lot of grist for the mill and be able to do that. But he was writing 3 hours a day, 3 days a week to be able to do that stuff. And the rest of the time he did his exploration and research. That these stories were the results of a lot of the stuff because of having done his exploration. So a lot of the stuff he did from the military, from his traveling to the Middle East or to the South, he resulted in these stories that he was able to write.
And a lot of those essays that you mentioned, you'll find those in the Writers of the Future online workshop that we spoke about.
There we go. That's the
flash drive.
The flash drive you just had clicked on there.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's and Francesca, this is what I was reading. It's Beyond All Weapons. This is the one I shouldn't say reading. This is the one I'm listening to.
Oh yeah.
And I just started it today, so it's no, see, it's broke up in chapters, guys. So, damn it, fat finger-itis. But anyway, it's broke up so it's in 5-minute, 8-minute, 7-minute, 10-minute segments. So it's really easy, and I like it. And there's a lot of other stuff that comes along with it. I don't want to spoil it, but there's more than just the story in this. There's a lot of build up to. There's a lot of stuff talking about what's going on. There's different ones have different things about the author and stuff. So I said, just pay attention as you're going through, and you're going to hear a lot of different things. Actually, Marcus, again, here it is right here. Actually, I don't have the pad. Let me open it up so you can see. Let's see. There y'all go. Look, boom, right size and everything. I don't have to wear my glasses when I'm reading on it, which is nice. I just make the file a little bigger and away I go. I don't like wearing glasses all the time. And well, I would get contacts markers, but they pop out of my face. So I just look. I'm hard on phones and contacts. Yeah, I don't know what it
Well,
is.
Dorri can help you with that, Joe. Dorri can help you with
yeah,
that, Joe.
yeah. I know. No. See, guys are all available here. No, you'll see the pads in a little while. We're just scrolling through. You can go right here to the shop, do all your shopping. I mean, you can go to Amazon and get stuff too, but I mean, you might as well come and buy it off their site. Well, I'd rather y'all buy it off their site, actually. Well, because Amazon gets a cut when you buy it from there. Amazon gets a cut of everybody. What are you talking about? Yeah, look. And the newer you are, the more they get. Oh, I got friends who got books out that told me horror stories I'm not even going to get into tonight. Oh, you know what? I may do an actual show on this in the future. It's tough on beginner authors, guys. I mean, self-publishing is rough. It's hard to get the word out. And then if you go to a publishing company, which I know several that I've worked with over the years, they take anywhere from 50 to 80%. I mean, you're talking 50 cents a book. And even if you got a bestseller, you're not going to make a lot of money. So I'm just saying, it's a tough business. I'm not going to lie to anybody, but if you're good and you can get 2 or 3 out, yeah, you could be making some serious dinero. Or if you're looking for other than money, you can get some serious fame. I don't do radio for money, by the way. Whoever asked that question, no. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm happy when it makes money. I'm not complaining about making money on it, but real short story, real quick, because we're not here for me. When I was doing this a little bit before Katrina, when Katrina came along, my company made a buttload of money, so I went out and spent about $300,000 on putting together a radio station the way I wanted it. What's funny about this is everything we bought then we no longer use today. None of it.
Mm-hmm.
None of that equipment we use today. Everything is much more modernized. You see the video feeds. It's way cheaper to do radio, with the exception of the bandwidth we consume, which is $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Everything is way easier to do now. Anybody can do radio. It's not about can you make a podcast. Anybody can make a podcast, and if you're even halfway intelligent, you can make a good podcast. That's not the trick. The trick is getting it out to everybody else on the planet. Mm-hmm. When you've got 3 million podcasts out there, it's a big field to break into. I'm fortunate the station's 21 years old. We've been around for a while. We're nestled into almost every country on the planet. And I was talking with a good friend of mine, Jennifer, at NBC, because matter of fact, when I'm out in Cali, I'm going to do a show with her. She does out of San Francisco. She hosts a show on NBC. And she's a blast, by the way. She gets me in trouble every time I go on her show. Every time. She knows just what to ask me. Every time. She's bad people. She's really a nice lady. But, what's that, Carl? Where are you at? I can't even pronounce that, and I've never heard that part of Alabama. It's got to be in the northern part of the state. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of chalets, and you see, that's a good idea. I might go do that this summer. I mean, this fall. I could take the Ron Hill books, check into a chalet up there overlooking a snowy cliff. And yeah, it snows in northern Alabama, bro. Yeah, it does. Yeah, northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia have a mountain range that runs across there, right up in Tennessee. It's beautiful up there. Yeah, there's a little town. I can't remember the name of it. I was on my way to D.C. a couple of years ago and I found it by accident because I took interstate. And it's a little town nestled against a little lake at the bottom of 2 mountains at the Alabama-Georgia line. It's a beautiful hidden little jewel. And when you bank the curve, the interstate and the mountains above the city, so if you're not paying attention, you'll blow right by it without even noticing until you're on the other side. It's a great little place to go hang out. Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of it. But
is it Minton?
It might be. It's been so long. It was just a pleasant surprise on the trip, which was nice. And I learned another trick too, people. If y'all going to D.C., go through West Virginia instead of regular Virginia. West Virginia is actually pretty good than Virginia is. And the only downside to it, I was coming back from an X conference in D.C. In 2010, I was about to drop a friend off in West Virginia. It's almost May. It was snowing sideways. I was like, I said, people, I'm from the South. I haven't driven snow in 10 years. I'm doing 80 miles an hour. It's snowing sideways. I'm like, okay, maybe I should take out a book now while I'm driving. It was an interesting experience. But what's that, Jack? Actually, I will get you their email, and I'll get you Dorri's email. And if so, where are you located exactly? You're in Florida, Panhandle, right? What I would do, if you want to do that, I would just go over to the site and buy the books and distribute them. Well, how many books are you talking about? Well, if you're going to buy like more than 1,000, I would contact John and Emily direct. I mean, I don't know if they can give you a deal or not, but I would contact them direct and find out.
I'm sure we can help out.
So, you call it the Dorri plague? No, look, I'm sure everybody here would appreciate it. Well, no, he said the Dorri plague, meaning that he's got the Dorri disease. He wants to give books out in Pensacola. And Pensacola.
Good for him.
Go Dorri, the Dorri plague.
So Pensacola. Oh no, I know the whole area. Yeah. No, it's actually Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Fort Walton, Destin. Then you got Blue Mountain Beach, Bradenton, and Watercolor, and then Panama City, and then Mexico Beach. Yeah, I know my way around there real well. I got a lot of really funky, richy friends down there. No. Y'all get the wrong idea. I'm not rich. Just because I own more than one house don't mean anything. And
so anyway, so you can let him. You can give him my email, and I'll definitely answer any questions.
But look, just address it. When we get off tonight, you can hit me up at iCarCox.net. I'm not going to give John's email out over there. But, you can hit me up at iCarCox.net, and I'll give you his email. You can mail it. No, I'm sure they would appreciate it. I don't know, but I can find out for you. I got a friend of mine that works for the school board in Saskatchewan, Okaloosa, that's what it's called. He's a good friend of mine. He's on the board. I'll ask him to find out how many. So what are you talking about here? High school, middle school, where you want to go? Well, there's a lot of schools in Florida. So unless you're just ungodly rich, well, look, you buy as many books as you want. I'm all for that. I'll find it. Write me. Get it set up. I'll get hold of Marcus tomorrow. I know he's home tomorrow, so I'll catch him and I'll ask him what he thinks would be the best way to go with it. Well, I'm sure he would love it. Florida's got more money than most states, so they do spend a little more money getting their schools together now, but they would appreciate something like this because they also have reading libraries in their schools. Yeah, because they want kids to read. Everybody wants kids to read. Only people don't want kids to read are just, I can't even say that because they'll get me in trouble, but just people who just want control over somebody. It's the only reason you wouldn't want somebody to be literate. I mean, I want everybody I know to be literate. I don't want some idiot working for me or waiting on me or something I can't read, right? That just scares me. I'm not hating on people because I know there's circumstances in life, but all I'm saying is, look, we're willing to help out. And look, if you are someone out there that has these problems, I do have friends in Louisiana and in Mississippi that will help you if you're in those areas and you want to learn how to read. So you can contact me on iCarCox. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know anything. I can put you in touch with these people, and away you go. I could not imagine living in a world where I couldn't read. I'm constantly reading all kinds of. Okay.
Joe, we also have a program that we've done for many years. It's a read and listen, where those pulp stories that Dorri was sending out. You have the book and the audio book. And the audiobook is it's unabridged, so it exactly matches the book. So as you're listening to the audiobook, you see the words on the page, and it helps you recognize. It just helps with reading, especially with the English second language, or just people learning to read better. So you're actually getting the story because you're hearing it as well.
I gotta say, there's so many stories I'm looking forward to reading or listening to because there's both in there, and I do like the fact that it does have a dictionary because, I was.
Is that one story there, Dead Men Kill, you've got? That's one of the oldest zombie stories ever written. It's one of the first zombie stories ever written. Dead Men Kill.
1934.
Man, that's going back a ways. No, guys.
Going back.
I'm just on Writers of the Futures on their shop page. And
that's Galaxy Press.
I'm sorry, Galaxy Press. I'm sorry, I'm Galaxy Press. Apologize. That's the page. I can get different ones. Yeah, y'all should be jealous when you see the page. No, you're not getting the page. Oh, yeah, definitely. Now you see the price on it, you definitely want the damn page. You're not getting my pad. Get off of it. It'll be 2 years before I get even through reading this stuff. Look, y'all gonna keep up and make all y'all's comments public on Facebook. Y'all better stop it. But no, guys, this is something. This is not something. When you buy this, y'all been watching me scroll through these list of books and audio files. There's a lot here. So just in the 50 hours we were talking about earlier, you can listen to this any way you want. But the way I'm doing it is well, the first way I did it was I did it in sections. I did it in 5-hour sections. So it's kind of like watching anything on TV or Amazon or Netflix when you're just spacing out, zombieing out on television. I do the same thing. Matter of fact, the other day, to be honest with you, I was sitting down by the dock, which I have really great Wi-Fi here. So I had the pad, but I had it encased when I went to the dock. And I was sitting down at the dock listening while I was just chilling out. I just had my feet plopped over the dock, and I was laying out there watching the fish go by, basically. We got a dolphin that passes by every once in a while that lives back here. So I was just, chilling out, listening. And I still remember my neighbor came over, and she's like, we have a, how can I say this gently? We have a lesbian couple that lives next door. And the only reason I'm identifying this is because for a point. So we were talking, and she says, she said, I love L. And she's a little bit older than me. She's younger than my age. She's 2 or 3 years older than me. And her and I were talking. We were just listening to the story as we were talking. And her other half walks in. She goes, "What are y'all listening to? That was just gross." And I was like, "Wait, what?" She said, "Don't even start, Joe. She hates sci-fi. She don't even know what the hell sci-fi is. Just leave it alone. She don't know what the hell you're talking about." And so we got to talking about the pen. She's like, why don't they write stories for me? I said, what do you mean, why don't they write stories? I said, I tell you what. I said, I understood what she meant. I said, you need to go through L. Ron's stories. I said, it's amazing how well the man written, how much of today's world you can find back in these stories. And these are older stories. So it just shows you, or just shows me, that he had a good sense of what was coming in the future. So it was kind of nice to see. No, Christopher, that's not what I'm saying. He just was aware of how our planet was going to move. So he wrote his books accordingly. So there's, like I said, there's not like heavy violence, and it's not that people don't get beat up or shot or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you chop over 5 million things at a time. There's no real cursing in it at all. The stories are well written. They flow real well, and you don't have to be offended the whole time you're listening or reading the story. And that's what I mean. So it doesn't matter where you come from in life, with sex, color, or whatever your sexual orientation, it doesn't matter. These stories are written so that everyone can listen to them. And that's what I mean. He must have had an idea how blended our future was going to be, because he really did write the stories so that everybody could relax and enjoy them, which is nice. Because like I said, there's a lot of sci-fi written today that seems to be offensive for different groups. And so far, knock on something, I have never heard that about Ryan. So that's a good thing, especially in the cancel culture. That's saying something in itself, man. It's a strange world. No, Marsh, I'll go back up there in a minute. So who? I don't have a favorite story yet. I've been through. Well, Dorri already told you what she said earlier, and I don't know. There's a lot of good ones, and there's still a lot of good ones to listen to. So even if I like something now, 2 weeks from now or 6 months from now,
what kind of genre you like too?
What was that, John?
See, one thing too, he wrote in all the different genres too. So if you like science fiction or fantasy, but if you prefer, that's great. But if you prefer air adventure, military adventure, romance, Western, he wrote all these different genres. So even if you don't like science fiction, you can enjoy the mystery. He's got some great, mystery stories. And he just, because he understood people, he was able to write stories that still appeal to you now. Because one thing, even though technology changes, people don't. People with a good heart still have a good heart now, like it was back then. And the people that are just schmucks, they're still schmucks today as they were back then.
No, Chris and Lonnie, y'all got the wrong idea. No, they are iPads. No. You got the reason what they cost what they are is because they're loaded with all L. Ron stuff.
There's hundreds of stories on there, books and audiobooks, depending on what you're getting. I mean, there's like between the books and audiobooks, it could be like 400 on there.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. No, that's what you're paying for. You're not actually. I mean, yeah, you're paying for the iPad, but not really. You're really paying for the material. The iPad's kind of just To say it bluntly,
The
the iPad's being tossed in this as your venue to read on. It's really the
The
material.
iPad is actually free. What
Yeah.
you're paying for there is the content.
And yeah, that's the point I was trying to get. But yeah, no, that's what you're paying for is the content. There's a lot. I know y'all been watching me scroll through and listen. Yeah, you notice I don't leave the recorders on, so y'all go back and listen. Y'all can only listen when I'm live. Nah, I'm a dog. What can I say? No, you go buy the damn thing. You cheap it. Yeah, go on, go buy something. No, there's price ranges there for everybody. Make it a Christmas present. Like for you, Marsha, for you, you'll love it. You're like me. You'll sci-fi out for 2 years off of this, maybe longer, depending on how you do it. But well, I know how you are. You might sit there and read the whole damn pad in a week. Knowing you, but no, I'm sorry. Even you can't read it in a week. There's just a lot of material there. No, there is. There's a lot. There's a lot of listening time. I forgot. I was actually trying to figure out a couple of weeks ago how many hours. It's an ungodly amount of hour listening time. I mean, really, there's probably a year's worth of listening time on there. It's a great pad. No, if Dorri's close by, I'd kiss her. I mean, Lord, and she'd probably run because I'm scary. But still, it's no, for me, it's just. I never really thought of it like this, in a pad like this. This is just a comfort. I like having it. I like listening to it. Well, I'm getting ready to buy a boat, so I'm thinking about waterproofing it so I can take it on the boat. Well, a friend of mine's got a waterproof case for his, so yeah, I might get one myself. Well, it's not just waterproof; it floats. And I have seen his iPad in the Gulf of Mexico floating around before. Well, actually, he takes this. He's got this case. He takes it and uses the camera. And he does underwater video with it. Off his iPad. I didn't know you could do that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just some kind of case you can buy for it. I don't know. I'm telling you. Right now, I mean, I've been listening to a lot of stuff, so I haven't. And this new one story is interesting. It started out pretty interesting, so I'll let y'all know how it goes. I listened to probably 30 minutes of it, maybe 45. If people would have stopped calling me, I'd have got an hour and a half in. But for some reason or another, everybody felt like aggravating me this morning. And somebody's like, it was funny too. I still remember when one of the girls at the office comes, she said, "You're reading while you're driving?" I said, "No, I'm not reading while I'm driving. I'm listening while I'm driving." She said, "But you keep looking over there." Like, yeah. I said, "How you know I'm looking over? You can't see me." "I can tell you looking over there." I said, "I'm not. I'm looking at the highway. I'm listening to the pad." Because I'm actually listening to the car, the pad broadcast in the car. And the way I got my car set up right now, I can still hear the audio while somebody's talking on the phone. In my other car, we just cut whatever was off so I could hear the phone. But this one will play both. And so they get to hear while I'm talking to them. Because I turn it down.
Plus, it's really good. We're getting into summer reading, too, pretty soon. So we're getting into summer reading pretty soon, too. So this is the perfect time for that as well.
Yeah. Kinsey, what? No, they're both married. What is with this? This is going to happen once a show now. I want to start charging y'all to come in the audience if y'all can keep asking crazy questions. Okay, first off, Dorri's from Alabama, so she might hurt you. And I know Emily's from Canada, so she might hurt you too. I'm just saying, y'all better be careful here. Alabama girls don't play. They will smack you down like it ain't nothing. I know you
silly.
That's right. And she's been around children to boot, so that's enough to make you smack anybody. No, what's that? Alabama's a great state. Yeah, it gets a bad rep, but it's a great state. It really is. And I hate to say this, but I think Alabama does it on purpose because they don't want you coming to this state. I have never seen a state set up for tourism business that don't want tourists. They don't.
Yeah.
They would rather you not come to their damn state.
Both have been giving secrets away, though.
Yeah, I get in trouble for it all
I
the
haven't
time.
been there, so now I'm going to have to visit.
Well, it's an interesting place, and for the most part, like Dolphin Island. Dolphin Island's a very strange place. The very first time I ever went down there, people looked at me like I had the plague or something. We're talking like 35, 40 years ago. They were like, "You do not belong here in New Orleans, boy. Get your ass off our island." And that's exactly how they told me. The cop told me it. It's exactly the way he said it. And I was like, "You had to curse me, right?" He said, "Get off our island." And then he had to call me boy like 4 more times. I'm like, okay, whatever. Come back about a year later, still the same thing. Until like 1990, they still had those little figures on their lawns and stuff. And then all of a sudden, a big storm came through and the whole island changed. Now they want people to come down there, but they still don't want real tourists. They don't mind like some locals coming in from Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, but they don't want none of them damn Yankees down there. I'm just telling you, they just don't. Um, they're a funny state. They're very comfortable in who and what they are. They do a great Mardi Gras. They got a lot of good people in the state, but they really do kind of like their privacy. It's a strange place because you can watch southern states all day long, Gulf Coast states on television. They are advertising all over the place, right? Alabama's not. And if you go to Gulf Shores, it will be packed down there, especially like Florida, Bama, Orange Beach, Gulf Shores. The whole area right now is just ridiculously busy. And the Florida Bama state line, that's where all the kids like to go hang out. You'll come up in there sometimes. There'll be 2,000-3,000 people walking around. Get out the street, people. I want to get my car through here. There you go. But it's a lot of fun, and they got a lot of great restaurants. They got a lot of great places to party. And if you're a reader, there are lots of places you can tuck in along the Gulf Coast on the beach, sit down, enjoy the Gulf breeze day or night, and relax and read your book. Nobody's going to bother you. It's a very safe area. Alabama in general is a pretty safe state compared to other states. Really and truly, they're very low crime in most of the areas. And like I said, most of the people are very friendly. Don't get me wrong; it has its poor parts like every other state does, but not as much as it used to be. And they really have transformed themselves, is what I should say. But I do enjoy listening, going over there and hanging out. Marcus, what do you got? We still got about 15 minutes. What you got? I don't know. We'll have to ask Dorri. So okay. Let me reread this question so I got it straight in my head. So you want to know? Oh, okay. If you listen to it, because I didn't see it, they wanted to know how you went about distributing the books in Alabama, or getting them distributed in Alabama. Or did we lose it?
It looks like we lost her for a minute.
Oh, we lost her for a minute. That's right. I forgot. No, Marcus, we should be back in a minute. I don't know. I haven't read Final Black. I haven't read any of these ones on the bottom that we're looking at right now. Matter of fact, let's go on. No.
There we go.
Okay, Dorri, did you hear that? He asked you a question. Joe, do you want to ask her again?
One of the gentlemen from
Dorri's
Alabama was asking me. Yeah, one of the gentlemen from Alabama was asking me how you went about getting the books distributed out. He was curious because he's thinking that it sounds like an interesting program, and he said he's into old westerns and into I guess it would be like not sci-fi, detective type novels.
Yeah.
Because he said he grew up on Nancy Drew.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Galaxy Press definitely helped with that. I mean, we had a list of schools, and then the books are packaged in certain quantities, maybe all of them, or just like you said, the Westerns and the military type stories. And then they shipped them directly to the schools. There was a letter in there that I was like, I wrote a letter to the librarian or the principal, and said, please consider these books for your library. The kids really love them, and they're stories with good morals, and they're clean. But Galaxy Press handled the shipping and all that. I just told them where I wanted them to go. So it was very easy. And then I had a suggestion for the other person who wondered about, well, how many schools are there? You don't have to do it by yourself. You can actually maybe put it out there on a Facebook page or a lot of those message boards in your neighborhoods and go, hey, who wants to help me do this? And lots of people, they don't have maybe enough to buy 10 books, but that lets them feel like they're participating too. So it doesn't have to be one person. You could start a game or a contest. And then I'll say another venue is Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots and the Marines. We help them distribute these books at Christmas. And then also the Boys and Girls Clubs of Alabama. But the Boys and Girls Club, they have a lot of the books, and they give them to the kids. So there's a lot of things already in place to help anybody who wants to help.
Yeah, there you go. And Reese, if you can get an interview with Latoya, our mayor of New Orleans is from Compton, California, And if you can get an interview with her, yeah, I'll go with you. So Reese is wanting to go talk to the mayor about getting some time to maybe get some airtime to do a overall thing in New Orleans to see if they can get. I guess they're looking for donations so they can do this. Yeah, no, I have no problem, and I'll give you airtime down there, and I'll even, I've got a couple of friends that work with WWL, or I'll give them a call, and maybe they'll throw you in some airtime, and you can call some of the local TV stations and tell them what you're doing, and they'll give you some free airtime too. Yeah, nobody's going to give you a ton, but if you tell them what you're doing, yeah, they'll give you some airtime, and they may even make some donations. I don't. Yeah, just you got my email, you got my phone number, because I know who you are, so. Yeah, no, yeah, I don't mind. Just picking on a week when I'm not swamped. Not next week, but next 2 or 3 weeks I'll have some time. No, I don't mind going down there and talking to him. I look good in the suit, so I have no problem. Yeah. It's because it's so funny. The other day, a good customer of mine calls me. She goes, "God, you clean up really nice." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking?" She said, "I'm watching you on TV. I was watching one of your videos." I'm like, "Really?" She said, "Man, because a lot of times when I'm at work, I'll be in a T-shirt or I'll be in an old dress shirt, but I have dirt on it, paint on it, whatever we happen to be working on that day." Because I used to go out on the sites dressed nice, and then I started ruining really nice clothes. That came to the end really quick. Oh, I ruined the damn $700 pair of boots one time, and I was just hot. And there was like 15 years ago. I don't imagine boots probably cost about $3,000 today. They were a baby crocodile. Ooh, they were nice, softest boots I ever had. Anyway, getting off track here. What was that? No, really. Well, and look, you get set up to help out, and then I will get you hooked up with John, and y'all can go from there. Oh no, we're not going to go there tonight. Say that for another night. I know. I'm always on the guys being locked in a cage by Canadian women. I know. Yeah, that's because they won't let them out up there. All my female Canadian hosts keep their husbands locked in a cage. They must be bad. That's all I can say. It's the only reason they keep them in a cage. Why else would they do that? Yes, we have a donation site set up. Free the Canadian men. We got like $1,200 in donations now. There you go, Chris. Maybe you can use that. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to use it for because it's fictitious. Yeah.
Taking after Canadian hockey.
Yeah, nobody thought anybody was going to send any money to the site. Come on. It was just, anyway, we'll leave that alone. We'll use it for something else. Dorri's been great. Emily's been great. John's been great. I know. Well, they're all great people over there at Galaxy Press. I haven't met anybody over there I didn't like. And I had a correspondence with a gentleman the other day I was talking to over there. I don't know. Who? No. Only winners get to go. I don't even have to ask John and Emily. No, you don't get to go to the award ceremony if you didn't win. Well, maybe if you big shot with a lot of money, but other than that, no, you don't get to go.
Sometimes we can sneak you into the event, but the workshops, that's exclusive for somebody who won the contest. That's why we put the online workshop, and that's for free for anybody to take, and that has some of the basics that they cover in the live workshop. So we try to make it a little more accessible to more people, but the actual workshop when you win the contest, that's exclusive.
Okay, Steph, 2 questions. So one is she's asking Dorri how she likes taking the workshop so far, and then she wanted to know who set it up and why. So Dorri, you go first.
So I really like it. I like to do new things, but the videos are short. There's parts you read, and then there's videos you listen to the teachers, and these are very famous authors, and so I like it a lot. It's like it's something different. I have to study a lot for work all the time. My industry changes because the medical field changes, and so this is just like getting out of your sphere of normal, what you normally look at, and I really enjoyed it. It's having to use your imagination, which you're not really supposed to do that when you're in the medical field. So it's pretty fun.
Yes. Yeah, I was thinking if I had $1 for every doctor I know, I could retire. Damn. I know a lot for some reason. Actually, I grew up with a good friend of mine.
Emily's one that created.
Wait, you broke up, John. Yes.
Emily's the one that created the Writers of the Future course. Can you tell you about that? Okay, good. So Emily's one that actually designed the course. So go ahead.
I mean, he asked, or whoever the person was asking the question asked why we did the workshop. It was originally when we, for 38 years, this Writers of the Future contest has been going. And every year we fly in this 12 writers for this exclusive workshop with these big, New York Times bestselling authors. And we have thousands of people that enter the contest every year. And a lot of them would write in all the time saying, oh my gosh, I love the trophy, I love the prize money, but I really want to get into that exclusive workshop. And it just kept coming up, and people were saying, I need the workshop to be able to win the contest. It was sort of the chicken and the egg. So we said, okay. So a few of the judges got together. David Farland, he's the coordinating judge for the contest. Tim Powers, he wrote On Stranger Tides, which a lot of people recognize, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And then Orson Scott Card, who wrote Ender's Game. So we did videos covering the basics on writing with those three judges from the contest that are also, they're the lead workshop instructors when the guys come to Hollywood. So we put that together with some of the essays that John mentioned earlier from L. Ron Hubbard in the 30s and 40s, and put this course together just so anybody can take it. And the quality of stories that are now coming into the contest have gone up like a whole new level, just because the people who have been entering for so many years, that the quality of their writing has increased after taking this online workshop. And we wanted it for free because the contest itself is free to enter. It's a goodwill thing. It's something that L. Ron Hubbard set up, and he set it up to pay it forward for the new aspiring authors. So that's why the course was made for free. So it's in alignment with how the contest has been run all this time. So, and also we're just getting all kinds of new people. Like I mentioned earlier, it's over 100 countries, and we weren't expecting that, but 5,000 people from over 100 countries, we were pretty excited about that. So it's a popular workshop at the moment, and we don't spend any money promoting, so it's just word of mouth only. That's amazing.
He has to get into every show. He's like the damn dog. He wants to be in
okay, good.
He wants to be in it.
He wants to do the workshop.
Product shot.
Yeah. He likes to sit behind me and watch the workshop. Guys, you really should. I mean, it's free. It's good. It's well done. You're going to learn something. Unless you're some pro writer. I'm not even saying you might not pick up something from it, but I would take the course, especially if you really want to get into writing in any shape, form, or fashion. I would go take the course. Again, it's free. Emily's not trying to get in your pocket, which amazes me, by the way. I got to be honest, guys. I'd have been willing to pay $500,000 for this course. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So I'm thinking, they could be enhancing their pockets there, and they're not. And Emily's real good. She'll answer your questions. So try not to drive the woman crazy. But still, guys, I keep saying guys. I mean guys and girls, but I mean, go over there, take the course. I mean, you're going to enjoy it. It's not real hard. It's not real frustrating. I thought it was going to be more frustrating for me because I'm not an author. I'm like, you want me to write what? No, anyway. But it's been a good experience for me so far, and I'm taking it again. Like I said, I made it 80% of the way, and then I stopped, went back because right now I'm focusing on. I have a really good imagination, but for some reason I can't seem to get it from here to here in the same way. Whatever's in my head just doesn't seem to be coming out of paper right. So the more I use this course, the easier it seems to me to get this onto the paper, or I should say electronically these days. But still, it does make it easy. So guys, take the course. Yeah, you can take it with somebody. You don't have to take it by yourself. Yeah, I mean, you can share the screen and take it with somebody, or y'all can both enroll and take it side by side.
Go at your own pace.
Yeah, and it's because I was doing real well and I stopped and then I get sidetracked and I get come back, and that's one of the reasons I've been going backwards because I got so far and then I kind of got off for a couple of weeks, so then I had to go back to refresh my memory. I'm not as young as I used to be. My memory's not quite as fast as it used to be. I would recommend taking the course. Y'all should all send Dorri a thank you. If you live in Alabama, everybody over there should give her a big hug and a big thank you. I mean, really, she did a service to all of y'all by helping y'all out. Every kid in Alabama is probably better off for it. Let's just be honest about it. I'm not sure some of the teachers might not be sneaking the books and reading them. Because most of my teachers I had growing up like to read, and I'm sure some of them are sneaking the books home and reading them themselves. Or when they're sitting in there giving tests, they might be reading behind their desk. Well, test score data is like it used to be in the old days because they use computers now, so the computer kind of scores it for you. Yeah, it's not quite the way it was back in the day, but still. But guys, get out there and help out. Get involved. I mean, here's a group of people at Galaxy Press that are working their backsides off for y'all. They're not really getting all as much out of this. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying they're poverty poor. It's not what I'm saying. It's just they don't have to give away as much as they do. They could, number one, they could charge for the entries of people submitting entries. They don't have to not keep your name a secret. They could just tell everybody who you were or what you were. And if there was any bigots or racists or anything like that, you'd just get disqualified. So, I mean, they're doing it the right way. And when people do things the right way, you should commend them for doing it the right way. All right? It's an important thing in our society, especially in today's society, that when you see someone doing right, you should say thank you, take advantage of the courses, and realize that there is actually people out there that care. And they don't just care about your wallet, which, most of the people I meet today are more interested in what's in my back pocket than what I have to say about anything else. So, but I know we got to get out of here. So, Dorri, you want to give any parting words from you, Ron, any emails or anything like that?
I just appreciate the opportunity to come on. This was a really fun for me. So thank you for inviting me.
I love to. I'm going to have all y'all back again. These two up here, I got to keep an eye on all the time.
Yeah.
The competition, keep an eye on them too. You see, you got another publisher come say, Joe, we're going to give you about $8,000 a month. I want you to keep an eye on Emily and John. Like, yeah, sure, pay me. I like watching them anyway. So give me some freebie money. Emily, John, go ahead.
You wouldn't. Well, basically, it's been great as usual talking to you. And basically, real simple then is Rise of the Future is a program that was created by Warren Hubbard to be able to help this aspiring writer. And the book itself is kind of like it's who the professionals say are the best new writers and the best new artists. So the people you're reading, the top science fiction and fantasy writers in the world are the ones that are picking these guys. It's not us. And so if you want to know who's the best of the best, it's the people that are writing and Writers of the Future. So get a copy of the book. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it at Galaxy Press, Writers of the Future. Any of those places you can actually get it. You can also get Barnes & Noble or wherever your store is. Amazon, pretty much every country has it listed as well. And then what we talked about with the Stories from the Golden Age in this iPad, just all the stories. If you like Westerns, I want to have 32 Westerns that are in the Stories from the Golden Age. If you like detective procedurals, there's probably about a dozen of those. If you like fantasy science fiction, there's about 30 of those. If you like, the military fiction, those are amazing stories. There's about 20 of those. So there's a lot of stories that he wrote that appeals to pretty much any taste of genre fiction, and they're all priced, very. I mean, I'm the president of the company, so I can tell you they're priced very affordable for anybody to get it. And we've got them also as the ebooks as well as the print books, and then obviously we've been talking about the audiobooks. You can buy them either as CDs or you can use digital downloads. They're all available through Audible if you are subscribed with Audible, and then you can continue to write to Joe to ask him if he's going to give away his iPad.
Yeah, I'm not giving away that. but so y'all know, really and truly, people, even at $3,000, this is pennies on the dollar. I'm telling y'all, because the amount of material is in here, this is pennies. You are getting a deal like you didn't freaking believe. Yeah. Look, I know we're getting ready to get released, and that we're getting them from the COVID world, and we're getting out there. So I know a lot of y'all not going to have the time to read like you've been for the last year. Get the pad, get the headphones, get your set of earphones, or put it in your car, hook it up to your computer, whatever. But you can listen, and there's a lot of material in there to listen to, and it's well read. The voices are really good. There's none of that pause and stop and irritating voice kind of stuff that people like to do. Or you can tell when someone's a veteran reader versus someone who's trying to read. They read through the book. They probably read through it a couple times before they do the voice, but regardless, it's flawless reading. There's none of this, I didn't know what the word was. I might not know what the word was, but the reader actually knew. Fortunately for me, my mom used to make us learn a big word every day for 10 years. So words I still have never used to this day, by the way. I still got to Mom, I'm never going to use that word. Yeah, you will one day. Yeah, here we are 40 years later, still ain't use that damn word.
But you understand them when you're reading.
But it is nice.
But these audiobooks, it seems like you're listening to a movie. It's like you're listening to a movie with these audiobooks. and you supply your own imagination of what they look
Yeah,
like.
I was going to
But
say, if you got
that's
any
what we do.
decent, yeah, if you get any decent imagination, well, Heather, you fly a lot, right? This is perfect for you. Oh yeah, man, you put the headphone on, kick back in the thing, turn it on, and go. Well, you might
Yeah, I
want to
mean,
get the smaller version. You can get them all loaded. They have different sizes, and you can tell them what you want on it. But I would get for you because I know how you are. I'd get the little smaller version, a little more compact, but I'd get everything on it because you're like me. You're gonna want to hear it all. And a lot of times you're gonna want to read when you're laying in because I know when y'all fly. I know when you what's his face fly over to Europe, it's 6 to 8 hours sometimes. And your Munchkin was telling me I headed out to Australia in August, so that's like 16 hours. You get a lot of reading in 16 hours. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can definitely.
Ellen Hubbard was a pilot as well.
Kyle, Kyle, who are you? Oh, I'm sorry, Kaylee. And Kaylee Bird, is that what you? She says, "Hi, good day from Australia." Good night, right? Yeah, it's the wee days over there. I know we got to get out of here. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, is Quantum Leap with Kathy Dusky. She is on top of a mountain in Hawaii with her giant rock crystal shop out there. And she'll be on in just a few minutes, so y'all stay tuned for that. John, Dorri, and Emily and I have to get out of here because we all have lives that we have to get into and actually do things so y'all can get out there. Remember, October 22nd. June is cutoff date for the third quarter. Is that right? Somebody just asked me for submitting stories. Sucks. I could spell that.
Yes, June 30th is the deadline for this quarter.
Okay, so get your stories in, guys. Well, I'm telling you, I'll come out. I'm going to be out in LA this October, so I want to meet everybody out there. Y'all need to get out. You can't get invited if you don't win, so get your butt in out there and win. Come on. Christopher, you live in New York. Nobody in California wants to see you. They don't like New Yorkers out there. I don't know why they don't like New Yorkers. They just don't. No, I'm serious. Last time I was out there with 3 New Yorkers, they did not like them out there in LA. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Look, Texans don't like New Yorkers either. Maybe it's just a New York thing. Oh, no, I almost got arrested because I had New York tags on my car. I had a rental. And I had a Texas trooper stop me in Wichita Falls, Texas, want to search my car, all kind of stuff, because I had New York tags. And it was so funny. He gets my gun out of my car. He's carrying it like this. The guns are flat. He's walking on it. What are you doing? And then he gets my license. Oh, well, you're from Louisiana. Oh, never mind. Get back in your car and go home. I'm like, I wanted to just pop him. I was like, he stopped me. He said I was doing 75, 76 and 75, which I've never been stopped for 1 mile over the speed limit before. He stopped me because I had yellow New York tags on that car. That's why he stopped me. He thought we were coming from Colorado or somewhere carrying you know what, because it was legal there. And I said, no, dude, I was lecturing in Utah and it was going home. This is what I was doing. I was going to drop a friend of mine off that lives in Palisade, Texas, and then I was going home. Oh, I'm sorry, man. He said, I just assumed you were from New York. I said, when I opened my mouth, you didn't have a clue that it was from like the South. I was like, anyway, we got to get out of here. It just tells you how people really are. But Dorri, nice to really meet you, and thank you again. I really do appreciate it. If I ever see you in person, I'll give you a big hug. Maybe one of these days when I'm out in Bama, I'll have to take you out to lunch.
Bye.
John Emily, I look forward to seeing y'all soon. We'll get together before the awards just so we can let everybody know where to find y'all and what's going on. Everybody else, stay tuned for the Quantum Leap. Any moans, groans, complaints, or anything like that, you know I really don't care. So send them to Michelle DeRoche or Amelia Pisano. I'm not going to. No,
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Better known as Bubbles. Great. Well, good night, everybody, and coming up next, and stay